What's going on, y'all? This is John Alsace with Facemask Fantasy. We got new up-to-date fantasy content coming your way every day on this channel, so if you have not subscribed already, then please hit that button. But before we get into our main topic for today, my co-host Nick Payne put in a ton of work to give you guys a free 2021 Redraft draft kit available on our website, which can be found at facemaskpod.com. It's a great piece of content, something that other analysts might be charging you for, but we're giving it to you for free. So without further ado, let's get into some fantasy talk, and today we're going to talk about Juwan Johnson. The Athletic's Catherine Terrell wrote that second-year undrafted free agent Juwan Johnson, and I quote, seems to be headed for a Jared Cook type role, end quote, at tight end for the Saints. Now, with Jared Cook, last year's tight end one for the Saints, leaving in free agency this past offseason for the Chargers, it's long been believed that second-year tight end Adam Trautman was due to be the tight end one for the Saints. And many, including me, right here on this channel in multiple videos, have predicted a breakout year for Adam Trautman. But in the Saints' first preseason game, it was somebody named Juwan Johnson who led the Saints in receiving with 2 catches for 71 yards while playing a handful of snaps with the first team offense, and it was Johnson who was featured on third down passing plays with Taysom Hill. So who the hell is Juwan Johnson? Now, Juwan Johnson is a former college wideout who converted to tight end this past summer and has reportedly been one of the stars of Saints camp. Now, have we heard this narrative before? College wideout converted to tight end? Yeah, I mean, Darren Waller. Everybody's super quick to point out Darren Waller, but we could also be looking at Hakeem Butler here. So there is a large range of outcomes for former college wideouts who convert to tight end. But the Saints originally signed Juwan Johnson out of Oregon in 2020. He came into the league at 6'4", 230 pounds, and he began his college career at Penn State. Now, while at Penn State, he only totaled 81 receptions for 1,123 yards and 2 touchdowns in 3 years. But in his final year of college, he transferred to Oregon, and he was working with the number 6th overall pick from 2020 in Justin Herbert in his final season. Now, that did only amount to 29 receptions for 467 yards and 4 touchdowns, but Johnson still showed enough as a big-bodied possession wideout to get picked up by the Saints as an undrafted rookie ahead of the 2020 season. And he stuck on throughout camp, ended up making the practice squad as a receiver, and he actually ended up seeing real NFL playing time last year due to injuries at the wide receiver position for the Saints. Now, according to Pro Football Focus, Juwan Johnson's usage last season was somewhat tight end-like. Pro Football Focus charted Juwan Johnson as lining up out wide 174 times. 99 of those snaps were run blocking snaps, and 83 were routes. So he ran more blocking snaps than routes last season as a wide receiver. And while run blocking, for Pro Football Focus, he earned a run blocking grade of 88.7, while only committing 1 penalty. One of the things that scouts liked about him coming out of college was his blocking ability, and as you can see in his first season, coming off the practice squad to play in the NFL, he succeeded from a run blocking standpoint, enough that the team wanted him on the field at a different position with less competition so they could utilize him more on game day. If he continues to show the promise he did last year in his blocking, and also continues to show throughout the preseason that he's grown as a receiver as well, the Saints could have 2 of the best blocking tight ends in the league in Trautman and Johnson, as Trautman was proven to be last year one of the best blockers in the league from the tight end position. And both of these tight ends present the QB for the Saints, whoever that will be, with solid receiving targets as well. Now, let us not forget, in the case of Juwan Johnson, former New Orleans Saint Dan Arnold made the same adjustment that Juwan Johnson is making, and he's actually caught on with a couple of teams as a contributing and starting tight end in this league. So this coaching staff has succeeded in this kind of position change before. Now the question remains, can Juwan Johnson find similar success? And how much of a detriment is he to the original projections that I had for Adam Trautman? And the answer to the first part of that question, yes, I believe that Juwan Johnson can have the same success in the league that a guy like Dan Arnold has had thus far. Despite the rumblings that the Michael Thomas injury makes Taysom Hill starting more likely, I just believe the best quarterback starts. And Winston is the clear-cut best quarterback in this quarterback room. He has the most starts at the position. He finished as the quarterback 3 in fantasy the last time that we saw him play a full season, so he can clearly put up the yards and the points. As far as the interception numbers, he hasn't been nearly as errant in his throws since coming to the Saints. And say what you will about Sean Payton, but he has been a masterful coach in terms of scheming passing lanes open for a shorter quarterback in Drew Brees. I'm optimistic that Payton can get Winston to reclaim that QB1 status if he invests in him for a full season. Let us not forget he's got a photographic memory. He underwent vision surgery to fix double vision in his eyes before signing with the Saints last season. It's fair to say that we have not seen the best of Jameis. He's only 27, and when he was at the peak of his powers, Jameis sustained multiple fantasy-relevant wide receivers and tight ends throughout his career. In 2017, Mike Evans was the wide receiver 18, Deshaun Jackson was the wide receiver 33, Cameron Brate was the tight end 9, and O.J. Howard was the tight end 17, all in the same year. In 2018, Mike Evans was the wide receiver 10, Chris Godwin was the wide receiver 34, O.J. Howard was the tight end 11, and Cameron Brate was the tight end 19. And in 2019, the last time that we saw Jameis Winston play a full season in the NFL, Mike Evans was the wide receiver 8, Chris Godwin was the wide receiver 2, and Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard were the tight end 27 and 28 respectively. So again, if Jameis earns the starting spot, as I believe he will and should, it's not out of the question for him to perform at a level to be able to sustain multiple top-tier options at multiple positions. That said, you do have to temper your expectations for Juwan Johnson as a wide receiver convert to the tight end position, as the tight end position is one of the hardest to learn and to acclimate to in the NFL, even if you've been playing that position for your entire collegiate career. And despite the move to tight end, his best asset for the team right now is his blocking. He showed that last year again, in that he played more run blocking snaps than routes run from the wide receiver position when he was still a wide receiver. And again, Pro Football Focus charted him with a run blocking grade of 88.7, and I believe that's how the team will primarily use him. If he does have any value in fantasy, it's only in Dynasty, and he's still just a wait and see type of player for me. If rumors of him earning a solid role for the regular season start coming out, then you can add him. But there's a chance he ends up on the practice squad yet again, this time at a different position, in which case he's basically useless in Dynasty. I don't know about you, I'm not in the habit of rostering practice squad players on my Dynasty teams. So while he could be playing significant snaps for this team from the tight end position in the NFL, I think saying that he has the Jared Cook role in this offense is a little misleading. I do think a reporter coming out and saying that he has the Jared Cook role in this offense is misleading, because we've stated multiple times in this video that Juwan Johnson's number one strength and number one asset for the Saints in 2021 is his blocking. That's why he was converted from a wide receiver to a tight end, and it would make sense to me that they would bring in somebody who's a blocking specialist to free up Adam Trautman to run more passing routes. And now if you've been tuning into this channel at all, you already know that I have a soft spot for Adam Trautman. But if I really thought that Juwan Johnson was realistically going to come in and take any work away from Adam Trautman, I'd be honest about it. I just don't think it's going to happen. If you want to hear more reasons about why I like Trautman in this offense, especially since the Michael Thomas injury, we made a video on that a few weeks back, so go and check that out. I will put that in the description below. But now that you got a good idea of who Juwan Johnson is and how he can contribute for the Saints in 2021 and beyond, I want you to let us know your thoughts on Juwan Johnson. Please put your thoughts on Juwan Johnson in the comments section below. If you agree with me on my synopsis about Juwan Johnson, let us know. If you don't, let us know why not. Thank you for listening. This has been Facemask Fantasy. We bring you new up-to-date fantasy content every day right here on this channel. So if you have not hit the subscribe button, please do. Thank you again for listening and have a great day.